Curtis Shears, the Australian, set to get us underway.
And as always, Curtis Shears likes to go after that ramp with a vengeance. Watch his skis bouncing a little coming into the ramp. You can see the water moving here. He'll attack the ramp, but watch his back at the top of the ramp. See, he never gets it vertical. He's bent over, and that's some of the cautiousness that a jumper feels on his first jump, especially when the water's moving like that. We didn't get all the lift.
Boat speed somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 miles an hour. Curtis Shears, 230 feet on that initial attempt. Detroit was a kind stop to him last season. There is Ryan Fitz getting set to go. Ryan, the rookie of the year back in 1999. You'll see him a little bit later, but mentioned about Curtis Shears. Last year he took a second here in Detroit. Conditions are fairly good today. No reason he couldn't vault to the top of the leaderboard.
If he can control his mental focus coming into the base of the ramp and keep the back straight in spite of the water moving a little bit better, he got a quicker snap of the legs. So while the back was still slightly rounded, and that's maybe because of the 70+ miles an hour he's carrying into the base of the ramp, he manages to get a quicker lift with his legs. Watch the explosive pop right at the top. Boom. Right there.
Curtis Shears has been extremely consistent over the years. Top 5 finishes every season. He's been on the tour since 1997. Best has been 3rd, and today he sets the benchmark for the rest of the field. 237 feet for Curtis Shears, and that now is the mark to beat. It's time for the Mastercraft Pro Water Ski Tour. Today, the 180 Energy Drink Motor City Challenge. It is a sunny, breezy, and somewhat cool day, honestly, here in Detroit, Michigan. Hi, everyone. I'm Doug Dunbar, along with the coach, David Benzel. We are set for our 5-man ski fly final. Usually at 7. A little different circumstance today, Dave, because we had a pretty tough qualifying round.
In the preliminary rounds, a couple of the men found out that disaster is just on the other side of pressing hard. Scott Ellis and Scott Smith both had big crashes that will keep them out of the finals today.
Scott Smith came into the ramp with all this blazing speed, but both tips dropped down as he came off the top. A lot of pull from the boat through that rope as you come in at this speed. Body broke forward, and now watch these tips. Boom. They go under so fast because these skis are big. They're like 92 inches long. He's got some of the longest skis in the field. Once the wind gets on top of them and flips them, you're gone. There's no recovery. He tucked and rolled, and the safety crew got to him right away.
Yeah, the safety crew always hovering just a few feet away. They were right on scene as soon as that happened. And Scotty Smith, one more look. And Dave, I would ask you this, on a day like today, we're dealing with fairly nice conditions, a slight breeze, and they're dealing with a little bit of a crosswind, but is that multiplied when those tips drop?
When the wind is coming across your skis instead of straight at them, yes, it's trickier up in the air. And once the tip drops, it's impossible to bring it back because the skis are so big.
Well, Scott Smith is done for the day. This is the knee brace that is on Scott Ellis, the Rocket Man. A decorated jumper in his own right, not jumping in the final here in Detroit, Michigan, and it's also because of some unfortunate luck. But it wasn't on this particular jump, but this was the precursor.
Well, you could see there something was going wrong even on that jump. His skis were wavering. The right one almost dropped. Then on this one, oh, and man, did that hurt. He came into the ramp leaning. He was pressing and leaning, and so when he hit the ramp, the skis slid out sideways. Then the wind caught him and flipped them back behind him. And you can see, watch the right and left ski slide out.
That's literally on his side.
Yeah, he was leaning too much, trying to get to the ramp. Now, going in and doing the splits sideways, that's the worst, and that's why he's got a groin in there.
Well, Ellis is dockside, and we finally have a chance to hear from him as to what happened.
The skier pays a heavy price for a crash in ski flying. Scott Ellis knows all about it. Yesterday in the preliminary round, Scott, we had an out the front.
Yeah, I did. I came in, body position was a little bit wrong, and when that happens, you go literally head over heels, and I landed wrong and messed up my MCL, my left knee.
Will we see you back soon?
I hope so. The doctors said it's just really stressed, or nothing's torn, nothing snapped. So I think a little bit of rehab on the couch, watch some TV, and then get back on the water in a couple weeks. I should be back for Vancouver.
Skiers are pressing harder and harder, it seems like, in ski flying. In the beginning, we didn't see many crashes. Now, suddenly this year, we've seen more.
That's right. Inmar and Mastercraft put that $100,000 out there, and that's what we're wanting. It's like we don't even want 300 feet anymore. We want the 322, and we are. We're not just pushing the envelope. We've torn it, and we're going beyond that, and we want to make a good show and jump far, and that's what we're here to do.
The other interesting aspect of this stop in Detroit for men's ski fly, for the first time in the Pro Tour this season for ski fly, we're going to have a new winner.
Exactly, because Jarrett Llewellyn is not in the finals. He didn't make the cut. He has won the first 2 stops. In the meantime, however, Freddy Krueger is looking better than ever. He won the U.S. Masters. He's skiing strong, and he's being pursued by guys like Jason Seals and Ryan Fitz. So it'll be a new winner, but everybody's thinking, look out for Freddy Krueger.
And don't forget about some of the old pros. 19 years on the circuit. Bruce Neville is here. He is suited up and ready. 36 years old and still challenging. We'll see him when we come back to Island Lake State Park here. The Detroit Motor City Challenge for men's ski fly rolls on in just a moment. The Mastercraft Pro Water Ski Tour is brought to you by 180 Energy Drink. Turn your energy around. And by Mastercraft, the leader and pulling farther ahead.
What do we call 33 years of world record poles? Just warm it up. Introducing the all-new ProStar 190 EDO from Mastercraft.
Everybody, hands in the air. There's a rope. Hey! You want to die?
On August 17th, bad is good again. American Outlaws.
Sadie was a beautiful woman. She had a mustache. I think she had more than a mustache.
Rated PG-13. Starts August 17th.
We need to talk.
Really?
I don't think we should see each other anymore.
Well, is it Mr. Frisky?
No, I love your cat.
It's the rash, isn't it? Listen, the doctor said it's just temporary.
No.
I'm emotionally unavailable.
No. It's your website. I need more content than that.
Our customers expect a lot from a website because at Progressive.com, you can get our price for auto insurance and the rates for up to 3 leading competitors.
We want you to save money, even if it's not with us.
Visit Progressive.com today, where you can get quotes, pay your bill, even buy a policy instantly.
She says I need more content.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. Yeah.
Call, click, or visit Progressive today.
As you can see, a beautiful day here in Detroit, Michigan. Island Lake State Park, just northwest of the downtown city proper. And some fairly calm conditions as far as the weather goes today. 73 degrees, but the crosswind that the jumpers are dealing with.
And the skiers would rather have a headwind, straight on headwind, get up above it, float for a long time.
There's Freddy Krueger in the yellow hat, last year's Pro Tour champion, winless so far this season. Maybe discussing things as far as the weather with Tony Neville, Bruce Neville's wife. There's Jarrett Llewellyn out of the competition.
You know, he took a crash a month ago in Phoenix, and the crashes are costing the guys more time because they're falling harder at ski flying.
Well, here in Detroit, Michigan, and for the rest of the season, the Mastercraft Vortec Vault out there. First jumper to fly 322 feet. It's $100,000. It's called the 100-meter, $100,000 challenge. All that money on the line, and so far, Jarrett Llewellyn still leads the tour, but that could change after today, depending on what Freddy Krueger does out in the water. He has made the final. You will see him coming up in just a little bit, but now we go to Bruce Neville. 1997 and 1993, he was a Pro Tour champion.
Off with a nice first jump, and you can tell by the landing that he's really riding over his toes well. When a skier can stand up the landing, it's like a signature of what happened on the ramp. Unfortunately, in this case, Bruce is not carrying a lot of speed yet. He's going to have to go a lot faster to the ramp and keep his back straighter. Did you see again that kind of curvature at the back and the head dropping at the top? Costing him some distance. Bruce has been very consistent, but he hasn't been way up there in the lead yet. He has not won yet this year. He's just sort of been steady.
And at 36 years of age, always watching out for his safety. You might notice that collar he has on, and that jump, David, 240 feet, so Neville now in the lead. That collar we mentioned, almost like a football type collar that one might wear on the shoulder pads to keep the neck from snapping back.
There we go. That's a better jump. And can he get back up again? And yes, he does. I like his turn. I've always liked the way he turns. He rolls into this turn gradually and then starts to apply the pressure. Now, we're going to see skiers like Freddie, and if Jarrett was in the finals, we see him start much harder than Bruce does. But Bruce is building on control and trying to keep the line as tight as possible off the top of the ramp.
Neville had 240 the first time. It looks like it's in the same neighborhood, maybe a little bit longer. Tucking the left arm back. Bruce Neville, a great jump. He's dockside with our Dave Benzel.
Bruce, it looked like Aaron Neville was in good form today, especially considering the conditions.
Yeah, the conditions, you know, I'm not real happy with that jump at 245. In these conditions, hopefully it's not good enough to win, but I think it's good enough for a place. So we'll see how it goes. You know, we're missing Scotty Ellis, Jared Llewellyn out of the finals, so, you know, some big names aren't there. And it makes it a little easier, but the conditions are making it tougher. Just the rolliness before the ramp.
And yet, this quartering headwind is a favorable wind. It keeps the line tight.
Yeah, actually, the wind's pretty much ideal, but if you can imagine going 70 miles an hour along the highway and hitting small potholes in your car, yeah. Bang, 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 that's kind of what we're feeling on the skis, because, you know, every little dip in the water, we feel it, and that's kind of what's happening. So, but, you know, survived another round and lived to jump another day.
Bruce, you're also wearing a collar around the neck now. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, it's actually a junior youth football collar, and it's you know, after I crashed a couple of times, it's very, you know, all of our jumpers are getting bad whiplash, and it's, you know, it's pretty smart. You know, it's pretty stupid that we haven't done it before now, but I think a lot of the jumpers are trying, and it's going to, you know, make our sport a little safer. So we're hitting the ramp faster, higher, you know, and we don't want anyone to get hurt, so we're trying to invent something to keep our head on.
At 36 years old, the elder Aussie statesman holds the lead at 245. When we come back, flying Ryan Fitz. Don't go anywhere.
My new book shows you 15,000 government programs you could use to change your life, too. You can get a better job, get an education, or start your own business. Next year, the government's going to spend $350 billion, and those who know about the programs are the ones who get the money.
If I could get $15,000 to go back to school, any woman could do it.
Call now, 1-800-233-0500.
Beauty, adventure, drama. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art. And with this free art test from Art Instruction Schools, you can find out if you have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To get your free art test without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number. Don't delay. Call this toll-free number now. Call 1-800-344-8300.
Here's a tip. Next time, try filling a swimming pool with 7-Up instead of plain old water. The bubbles make a nice change of pace. Nah, I know that ain't the 7-Up, Richie.
They are Saturday soldiers fighting for every touchdown. Be part of the action with ESPN Game Plan, only on pay-per-view. It's maximum college football with over 100 extra games you can't see anywhere else. Catch all the top conferences. To order, call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
Men's ski flying here in Detroit, Michigan, but right now it's all about lunch for these two fellas. Enjoying the delivery on the dock. But on the water, there is more action. 21 years old out of Shreveport, Louisiana. His third year as a professional. Ryan Fitz on the water now.
Certainly one of the youngest. He still is eligible to compete for the U.S. 17 to 21-year-old team, and yet he is one of the elite ski flyers in the world. At a young 21, he is so aggressive. He attacks that ramp right away.
Brash young man who gives it his all, and that has at times scared us over the last couple of seasons, but at times it's proven successful for him.
It was interesting what Bruce Neville said in his interview about he likes the fact that the wind is a quartering head crosswind because it keeps the line tight. Now remember, the skiers are trying to actually cut away from the boat from the second wake on. They want direction towards shore away from the boat. This wind, which we refer to as a crosswind, is actually helping them keep the line tight. Now the question is, can they handle the water at the base of the ramp? because that same wind is making it rough right down there.
Yeah, and you can see the skis chattering on the way into the ramp, and that's a little unsettling for the jumper as well. I mean, look right here. This is what they get on the way in.
Yeah, and they're going 70+ miles an hour over this little chip chop, and that's what's unsettling.
And chip chop, this is just a couple of inches, but that makes a big difference. It translates greatly when you're talking about the speed you're dealing with.
Exactly.
So on the board, 223, well shy of our leader, Bruce Neville at 245. Ryan Fitz, one more chance.
Ooh, this is a good jump. Good jump. Ryan Fitz carrying all that speed in, trying to ignore the rough water at the bottom, and he just carries through it. Watch the slow, smooth start. Very progressive for a Ryan Fitz, but look how hard he digs in right here. All the spray coming off the right ski right onto the ramp.
Ryan Fitz with a great ride through the air here in Detroit. I would venture to guess he's our new leader. Dockside with Dave.
Ryan, a couple of the guys have come back to the dock and said that it takes a couple of jumps to figure this out. And I think you figured it out. 251, you're leading right now.
Yeah, I needed to figure out a little more out there, it looked like. But these guys here can go further than that for sure. I mean, the conditions aren't that bad. A 260, 270 can definitely go down. The wind's just a little crosswind, but they can do it.
The ski flyers always like that headwind, and now this is a crosswind. What's the difference?
Well, the crosswind, this wind's blowing at our right side, pushing us into the jump, so it's kind of hard to keep a tight line and get your lift off the jump. So, I mean, we would like the wind in our face to keep the line tight and help us get pull off the top, but, you know, with this boat, it has enough power, enough strength to pull us far enough to go the distance we need to.
Ryan Fitz, your leader right now at 251. Bruce Neville, Curtis Shears, second and third. 2 jumpers to go. Next, you will see Jason Seals fighting to climb up the leaderboard here and on the Inmar Tour standings.
Hey guys, this Sea-Doo RX-DI is running great. How about a splash of gas and I'm out of here?
Have you got any kings? Go fish.
Hey, are you still mad because we didn't let you drive? Come on, Jimmy, it's my turn to drive. I've seen you drive. Right on the back, right on the back. It's my turn to drive. That's where you belong, on the back. I want to drive the boat.
Look at Romeo.
Now check him out.
Did you see the girl there?
Yeah, she's checking Eric out.
Oh, she?
Yeah, Eric.
X Games begins August 18th on ABC.
I'm just a man, just a guy and a dude, and I'm hungry. And I'm moving real fast because I'm going first class for steak at Taco Bell. Jonesing for a grilled steak, taco steak's the king of meats. So I run and I walk because I can't from a horse to ride there. Gonna shake for marinated steak I found at Taco Bell. Grilled steak taco from Taco Bell.
It's new. It's steak. It's only at the Bell.
Welcome back to the Motor City Challenge. Doug Dunbar and Dave Menzel joining you. And on the water, there is Jason Seals. We'll see him jump in just a moment. But first, the coach with the tips you need to know before you go.
Certainly you've heard the expression that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Well, today we're going to take a look at the most important link between you and the towboat, and that's where your hands meet the handle. Take a look at these gloves. They have naturally pre-curved fingers. That means your hand naturally